Good evening, everybody. As you step into the live stream, make sure to hit the like button. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on here tonight. I know everybody and their mother have all of a sudden covered it. And I definitely want to give my thoughts. And I understand that what the heck is Muhammad Ali doing in this? I'm going to tie it in. I hate to borrow QI's statement, let me land a plane, because she tries to land a Goodyear blimp, but I digress. hey, QI, if you're out there or in the bushes. And as you step in, once again, make sure to hit that like button. I'd really, truly appreciate that. And I'm going to go over the parameters of the whole thing. As we all know by now, that Carmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder by a Collin County jury in McKinley, Texas. Hey, the queen before you, how are you? Notice they couldn't say a jury of his peers because there were no black people on the jury, but that's another thing that we will touch on when it comes to this particular live stream. Darn it, Mr. Carruthers. Mr. Carruthers is live, and normally we do these together a lot of times. And hold on just one moment, because I know he's going to, obviously, I don't want him to mess up his live, and I'm not going to stop this one. So I would not be shocked if he comes over here a little bit later. Just one moment, please. Hey, Room Shaker. Thanks for joining me this evening. Just waiting. No, you don't have to wait for the punishment. Yeah, it is a heavy snowfall. You're not lying. In fact, his verdict. Let me go over everything because I actually have a small summary here. Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder on June 9th by a Collin County jury in McKinley, Texas, and subsequently sentenced to 35 years in prison. The case and the verdict. The crime. Anthony, 19, was convicted for the April 2nd, 2025 fatal stabbing of a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet at David Kuykendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas. The altercation. The confrontation began inside a team tent belonging to Metcalf's school on a rainy day. Just one moment. And thank you for bearing with me so far, ladies and gentlemen. And again, as you step in, make sure to hit that like button. Witnesses testified that Metcalf told Anthony to leave the tent, which escalated to Metcalf pushing Anthony. Anthony then pulled a pocket knife out from his bag and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest. Keep in mind that aspect of this, that he only stabbed him once, but he's being charged with first-degree murder. So obviously him stabbing him only once, this was not premeditated. They're going to try to argue that the fact that he bought a knife, a pocket knife in was, but the fact of the matter is the pocket knife that he had was actually of legal size. But I'll bring that up a little bit later. The deliberation, the jury rejected Anthony's claims of self-defense, deliberating for less than 3 hours. My God, which means they had no intentions, they had all the intentions in the world of finding this man guilty. Before returning a first-degree murder conviction instead of a lesser manslaughter charge. Sentencing and parole. The sentence, jurors deliberated for an additional 2 hours and 20 minutes before sentencing Anthony to 35 years in prison. He had faced a maximum penalty of up to 99 years or life. Parole eligibility. Anthony will become eligible for parole after serving half of his sentence, which would be 17 and a half years. Public response and controversy. The trial drew significant national attention and sparked protests and physical brawls outside the courthouse following the verdict. The case was highly publicized on social media platforms in racial terms, as Anthony is Black and Metcalf was white. Civil rights groups and defense supporters raised sharp criticisms regarding the jury selection process, as do I, by the way, noting that prosecutors struck all available Black women from the pool, resulting in a panel with no Black jurors. However, legal teams from both sides stated during the trial that the incident itself had nothing to do with race. Let me stop right there. This case, this verdict, this everything has everything to do with race. Why do you ask that? You do realize that we're still living in the United States of America, correct? You also realize that we are still listed as 3/5 of a human in the U.S. Constitution. And I understand, there have been amendments added, so, they don't really need, that's bull crap. Amendments can be repealed. Ladies, how's Roe versus Wade doing right now? That was an amendment. How's that looking right now? So don't tell me, ladies and gentlemen, about things don't need to be changed in the Constitution. The fact that we are still listed as 3/5 of the human in the U.S. Constitution matters. If you think it doesn't, look at this case. If that was I tell you what, if that was young Metcalf with the knife and Karmelo Anthony being unalived, I can guarantee you he would have been acquitted. Guarantee it. Now, I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony should not have been found guilty of a lesser charge. A young man lost his life. It should have been manslaughter. No way it should have been first-degree murder. Absolutely none. And I understand that there will be a lot of people who disagree with me when I say that he should have gotten manslaughter. Listen, for him not to be punished for a life being lost, I think is BS. Now, if you want to argue the fact that, listen, we have cops that got away with the Breonna Taylor murder, I can't argue that. And there have been so much gross injustice to where some of us have become numb to it. And that's a huge issue too. We should never become numb to injustice. And what kills me more is, oh, there's a way to, you know what? There was no problem when they had no problem with them killing us, or excuse me, unaliving us. I tell you, this YouTube speak just drives me absolutely crazy. But pardon me. But we're supposed to be objective when it comes to them taking our rights and our lives away from us. Like it's nothing. And again, I believe that Carmelo Anthony should have been found guilty, but not of first-degree murder. Notice they also brought up the fact that he was jumped prior to this by Metcalf and a couple of his friends. But they convicted him of murder 35 years. They wanted to make sure that this young man did not have a real future. Now, I can understand the other side too. Because in a perfect world, and we live in far from a perfect world, we know, in fact, the Bible itself tells us that the whole world is lying in the hands of the wicked one. This should not have been about race. It was about two teenagers letting something go infinitely too far. But as long as we live here, remember, folks, this country was built on race. This country is in the position that it is right now in the world because of the head start that chattel slavery gave it. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let these people tell you, oh, and that's another thing. Get over it. I would never be disrespectful to Mr. Metcalf's family. And is Mr. Metcalf's family going to get over this? Absolutely not, and nor should they. And it's sad that this family has a young man lose their life. That family's forever ruined. And we don't know what's going to happen to Karmelo. And you know he's tried and has been convicted as an adult. He's not going to juvie. He's going to the state penitentiary. He's going to be somebody's whatever. And listen, he has to pay the price. You took a life. But there's no way that should have been 35 years. No way. Now, I'd expect him to be acquitted. We knew that wasn't going to happen. Anybody who thought that was going to happen was, boy, I know not to bet with him or her because they'd lose everything. To see the way that people have acted towards this case has been an absolute disgrace in some ways. And you have some of the usual suspects who have looked at it like, well, this is what they do, you know. It is amazing how some of the most bloodthirsty people in the world have the nerve to be talking about us. The nerve of them. Remember, these are the same people who really invented the word thug, not us. Unfortunately, too many of our people are monkey see, monkey do. And we've done this from the Bible days. We had the Most High in our presence leading us. But no, we want a king like all the other nations. The same God that delivered us out of bondage in Egypt, we turned him down for a golden calf. Hey, Zero Lightness, how are you? I'm just showing my disgust for the Karmelo Anthony verdict. Now, I do believe that he should have been punished. 35 years. He should not have gotten 35 years. It should have been manslaughter. It should have been 15. 10 to 15 years, I would have understood. They gave him murder 35 years. And to be quite honest, he's actually pretty lucky he got 35 years. I know you're not shocked, Zero. Really? Are you shocked that he got 35 years? Because I'm certainly not. In fact, I'm shocked the other way. I'm shocked they didn't give him life without parole. He will be eligible for parole in 17 and a half years. I knew listen, and I'm not even going to be the one that says that he shouldn't have been found guilty. I do believe that he should have paid some type of price. He did take a person's life. But to say it was premeditated, absolutely not. Should he have bought a knife to a track meet? Absolutely not. In the eyes of Texas law, though, it was a legal weapon. It just wasn't legal at that particular site, but it was a legal weapon. And these guys have had run-ins in the past. Zero, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I feel at the end of the day, the lack of black people in the jury failed him, and his defense definitely failed him. The fact that he was not able to take the stand in his own defense, because let's face it, he had, and I agree with that, Zero. And the family should have insisted that he took the stand. Well, the parents were up there collecting GoFundMes and everything of that nature, and they had their face all over the camera. They should have implored the damn lawyer to put him on the stand. He had nothing to lose. At the very worst, they would have been able to hear we would have been able to know if he had remorse or not. Because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself matters. You have to give yourself every opportunity. And they failed that young man. They absolutely failed him. You think they had Anthony innocent? No, absolutely not. Anthony was going to be convicted no matter what, Zero. History has shown that. You know what? Misunderstood brought up a very good point. When to stand your ground ever worked for black people? We know the answer. It hasn't. Yes, it failed horribly. And it also lets you know that it tells you that we are not able to defend ourselves. Even when we defend ourselves, we are guilty. That is the worst thing they could ever tell us, because now we know we have nothing to lose. That means every young man or woman, they might as well go all out, they figure. We're going to be found guilty anyway. So why should we give a damn about their life? That is the worst precedent that they could send with this particular case. Black man or black woman, you cannot defend yourself. We will make sure that others will get away with unaliving you. But if you unalive them, even accidentally, you're going to be booked to the fullest extent of the law. I didn't say prison was a good place. I'm just letting you know that the mindset of these young people are they're going to have nothing to lose. They figure they're going to prison anyway. They figure in for a dime, in for a dollar. They're going to figure, you know what? I might as well take them out. I'm going to pay the price anyway. The only way I'm going to see justice is I'm going to have to take it into my own hands. We can't trust the police departments. We've seen how bad that's worked out for us. You know what? I'm going to highlight your statement because not all black people are doing that. You know what? You don't hear anything about white on white crime. Stop it. White people are killing each other too. You never hear about that. Stop it. Happiness. You're a clown. You know that? His evil supporters, anyone that supported him is evil now? First of all, nobody supports murder, you idiot. Yeah, let me escort you the fuck out of here. You're an idiot. I don't like stupid people. No, see, here's the thing. This is not a democracy here. This is a dictatorship. Oh, don't worry, because I got him blocked. I'm going to have this idiot escorted the fuck out right now. This idiot here. You don't have any happiness. Idiot. Get them out of here. Evil. Don't worry, he's blocked here. Hey, Joyce Goodwin. How are you? I knew there were going to be at least, and that's the first one. I expect about 3 or 4 more of these idiots to come through, depending on how long I'm going to be here. And I'm actually trying to hold this as long as I can for Mr. Carruthers. Oh, listen, you know these people. Hey, boy, you're going to live a long time, sir. I just spoke you up. And I'm going to drop the link. And listen, anybody else is fine. You guys can hit the link also. Of course, Zero, you can hit the link. The Queen, of course, you can hit the link as well. You know me, I don't. And of course, my wonderful adversary, she can always hit the link. Yeah, listen, this is the American way, ladies and gentlemen. None of this shocks me at all. People don't realize this Constitution, that 3/5 human, still affects us. Do you think that verdict flies if we're not listed as 3/5 of a human in the U.S. Constitution? I don't care if you give 100 amendments to that. The fact of the matter is, the blueprint is there. Hey, Malik, how are you? My dear brother, how are you?
Hey, Uncle Claude. Oh man, I am.
I heard you was getting on somebody. I heard it.
Dory. I'll see her name again, Dory.
All right, I missed that.
And
So
you know me. I don't mess with women like that. I
know
don't
that.
talk about women like that. But then she wants to throw me into some and call me names. And
Mr. Carruthers, hold
oh,
on. Let me stop you. Let me stop you here. Now remember, I was supposed to take the high road when it happened to me, and they brought up my dead wife. She had nothing to do with nothing. And your buddy Pizarro thought it was a great idea to bring up my dead wife. That was great, right?
And see,
You didn't have no problem with that, huh?
That's why I stay out of a lot of stuff like that, because I know it's wrong. We all know shit like that is wrong. But if I speak on it being wrong, then I'm going with the masses. I don't go, I'm speaking out now. I told people in 76, my independence is here. If I don't like what you say, I'm going to let you know about it, period.
Well, I
and
wasn't
especially when it comes to me and lying on me and telling falsehoods about me. So Dory crossed the line today. She was the one that got kicked out of Pizarro's platform. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I don't watch her anymore. I could care less what happens.
I know, but I watch everybody. I do. I've learned throughout the course of life.
Platform. I'll go that far. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, out of the learning out of the platform of my life, growing up during a time when it really was bad for a black man to be out there, you had to listen to everything going on around you. No, we didn't have this social media bullshit going on. We didn't have all this, I can call you on the phone, look at you on the, we didn't have all that. I learned you keep your eye on your enemy, some form, some kind of way. Not saying everybody out here is my enemy either. No, because they'll twist shit up like that. I watch it for my enjoyment, to see how the world is going. And right now it's going down the freaking tubes. It's going down the freaking tubes.
This world has been going down. We've seen that for years, though, Mr. Carruthers. This world has been going down the tubes for such a long time. This world couldn't be any further from God Almighty if it wanted to be. And this verdict just reaffirms that. And it reaffirms, I don't want to hear how, oh, well, you know, we're all the same, this, that, the third. This verdict lets you know, you know, what do you call a black man with a PhD? We already know the answer, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it hasn't changed since, and you can insert whatever timeline you want.
Yeah.
You can put in Dr. King. You can put in A. Philip Randolph. You can put in Marcus Garvey. You can put in the Harlem Renaissance. Do I really need to keep going here? And yet, listen, a lot of us are going to go for the fallacy of Juneteenth. A lot of us, listen, you know we are. And I get it, because July 4th was not our independence.
No, it wasn't. It never was.
It's our country.
Yeah.
And we built this country, so we have every right. If we choose to celebrate it, we have a right to. Now, I question you celebrating it, but you have a right to, because we built this country.
But look, Uncle Clark, when you're raised as a child, think about the holidays as a black person that you did celebrate. Okay. There wasn't such a big deal about it. Our family celebrated the 4th of July. Hell, going back to my parents' family, they celebrated July 4th. It's all about, I'm not going to say traditional worldwide, family tradition. What your family celebrated is what's important. Now,
hold on, Mr. Carruthers,
as we wait a minute, things have changed. There are a lot of my kids don't even celebrate the 4th of July anymore. They don't. You see what I'm saying? So am I mad with them because they don't celebrate it? No.
I'm pretty sure you're not.
That's their choice. That's their actions. But they do celebrate Juneteenth. You understand what I'm saying?
No, and I get it, and I understand it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying. Hold on, just one moment. Now, I did mention that the Queen before you. I mentioned the fact that he was sentenced to 35 years, and he has a shot of parole. He's eligible for parole in 17 and a half, because in Texas, half of that time you're eligible for parole. Now, my thing is, I'm not sure he'll see it, but that's another story. We won't get into that. Go ahead, Mr. Crow. I apologize.
That's okay. But what I'm saying, yeah, even this trial right here goes to show you the injustice in America when it comes to black people. I don't care how good, what your good two friends might say. There's always been injustice, always, with us when it comes to the court system.
Mr. Carruthers, you know as well as I do is justice and just us. Okay.
Yeah, and it's always been just us. But we forget the us. Only thing we think about is me. You see what I'm saying? We forget that how our families helped build this damn country. We forget how people suffered in order for us to be right here on this apparatus, which is ran by a white corporation. You see what I'm saying? And like I tell people, the only way you're going to break out of the system is to quit spending your money so much with the system. That's what I'm saying.
How many times have we said this? The only way. How many videos have we done together? We said the only way.
Let me answer this, Queen. Yes, he will. He'll spend most of his adult life in prison, and they don't teach him a damn thing in there at all. And then when he comes back out to society, what does he got? Oh, he might get a book deal or a movie deal about his life like that. But that's not the kind of life a black man should want. Look at Rodney King. Look what they did. You know.
How that worked out.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. And then I sit up here and listen to people arguments about he shouldn't have had this, he shouldn't have had that, he shouldn't have. We as black people in America, there's a lot of things we shouldn't do, but in order to protect our lives, our sanity, our well-being, we must do it. And if that means going to a school with a goddamn pocket knife because you've been bullied, do it.
And remember, he was jumped.
Yeah, jumped. All that kind of shit. Nobody wants to
other people, but I guess that doesn't count.
No, it don't count. It don't count. None of it counts. When it comes to white justice, the system for us, no matter what we do for ourselves, it does not count.
And look at this. Here's another one, a low IQ. You guys invented low IQ. Are you serious? Stop.
You know what?
We're not having I'm not going through this today.
I know, but that's the kind of that's the kind of bullshit.
That's another one. This is why. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Carruthers. I apologize for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know it's your platform over there with them idiots. But see, that's the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. That's the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. And 9 times out of 10, those same ones are the ones that want to meet our women out there in the streets. You see what I'm saying?
And some of our women can't wait to get with them. Let's be careful with that.
Yeah, we gotta be careful. Yeah, gotta be careful. But if it's true love, I'm not gonna knock true love. But when it's just different. It's different. But for the love of money and all this bullshit like we're doing here today, no, I'm not doing it. Dory is mad at me because Lemon made a statement. He wrote a statement. He didn't make it. He didn't say it. As far as I'm concerned, he was calling me that too. But was I going to get all offended and talk about his mama when I was asked not to do things like that? That goes to show you how silly this damn apparatus can make us when you ask a person, please don't talk about that. And they do it anyway.
Hey, listen, you had a moron who tried to belittle me for taking care of my mother-in-law. Are you serious? Anything goes on this. See, I was told anything goes.
Yeah. And when you band with that person that you know that's right, then everybody else wants to get mad. Like I tell you, Uncle Claude, it's all about the goddamn money. It's not about people's feelings. It's not about how
it's follow the money. It's always been follow the money. And some people will lose their soul they will sell their soul for $2 over lunch money. And you've seen it. They have no scruples. They have no nothing.
Alfalfa lost his.
But I was told, hey,
Alfalfa,
listen, that's how it goes.
That's how Alfalfa lost his life over a penny. But nobody, it's crazy.
I mean, we've seen the most foolish things happen on this platform and in this so-called sector. I'm about to start my own sector too. Everybody wants to start sectors. and my sector is going to be the show your face sector. If you can't show your face at least once, stay the F away from me, you freaking losers. Because I'm so sick of these people. These people want to make you. I'm just so sick of people. Period. I don't like people much.
Yeah,
I really
honestly, I came to a point like that in my life too. But I had to realize, that the world is bigger than just here on YouTube. There's a whole city out here where I live at, where I can go and don't have to be on here 24/7 like some people. There's a whole world out here where I can go visit that I don't have to be on 365 days a year. And I do it. And what makes it so bad, I do show it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're jealous of that because they can't leave their house,
Well, some people, and you know what? I'm not trying to knock those that can't leave their home, because I do feel sorry for them. There are some people that are ill, and this is the only
that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The things I'm talking about now is that I'm just fed up with young people saying the most asinine things to adults, to their own children, to people that try to help them out and try to show them a different way. And even some of the middle-aged ones. Like I said, this apparatus has changed the world, not for the better, but for the worst. We all worry about that little making that money, that almighty dollar.
Yep, that's the old days. Almighty dollar.
Yeah, that's free.
We've already thought on that.
And the money that they're giving you off of here is not free. It's not free at all. Because, like I said,
I'm sorry, Malik. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Malik. Hey, Malik.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting till old schools let me speak.
Go ahead on, Malik. Go ahead on, Malik.
So, Mr. C, I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
When you were on Bizarro's before you had to go take a potty break, what do you think should have been his consequence for his actions?
I think he should have gotten manslaughter. I think he shouldn't have gotten murder one. That was a disgrace. That was an absolute disgrace.
Listen, it should have been involuntary manslaughter.
There's no way it should have been murder one. Murder one's a disgrace.
Yeah.
But he should have gotten manslaughter. I would have understood 5 to 15. 35 is ridiculous. We know if it was the other way around, they probably would have acquitted the other kid. You know it, and I know it. But I'm going by proper letter of the law and what should have happened.
But see, that's another thing. The proper letter of the law wasn't meant for black people. Period. Let's get that through our heads. Okay?
I understand that. That's actually part of the point that I've been making. But
yeah,
unfortunately, this is what happens, and we've seen even worse than this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
There was a time when they wouldn't even have a trial for us. They just take out us to the nearest and make a bow tie out of us. Yeah. So I know what that's about too. See what I'm saying?
So now, do you think that this could have been?
I wasn't on Pizarro's, by the way, but go ahead.
No, I'm asking. Do you think that this could have been prevented?
No one. Here's one thing I'm going to stop doing with myself, and I've done it alone, and I wish people would stop doing with themselves. No one knows what God has in store for this world. Okay. Do I think it could have been prevented? The only person I can ask that is God, and the only thing I could ask God, why did he let it happen? That's the only thing. Because prevention, listen, we can prevent our homes from being burglarized by everything. But when it happens, did we prevent it enough? You see what I'm saying? When things happen to you in life, a lot of times it cannot be prevented at times. You have a flat tire. It's not, we know it's not your fault, but could you have prevented it? No, we don't know that. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it could have been prevented. Yes or no, because everything in life sets other things in motion. And right now, this trial
Mr.
is
Crowley,
setting.
I tell you what, I'll go one step further, and this might piss a few people off, but who cares at this rate? Maybe if they hadn't jumped Carmelo Anthony, maybe he would have been alive right now. How about that one?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that, though.
No.
And I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. But let's be fair.
Hold on.
Let me finish, please.
No, I can't. Listen,
maybe if he doesn't jump maybe if those four guys, including him, save emergency, he and three other men jumped Karmelo earlier. That came out in the trial. So how about watching the trial before you just come up and say he wasn't jumped?
How
about that? But go ahead.
I didn't say he wasn't jumped.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the guy's state of emergency.
He's talking to the trolley rollies in the.
Okay.
I have a bunch of winners in here. Go ahead.
So my other question was, and I just said this on Mika's. You do realize, right, that it's tragic on both ends.
Of course, both families are ruined. Both families are ruined.
So Bizarro said that he shouldn't have suffered the consequence. He should be able to be free. And my question was on Mika's, if he was to walk out that courtroom, how long do you think he would have lived?
Well, that's another thing. We don't know. You see, that we're always speculating. What if? It didn't happen. So why should we even try to speculate what if all the time? And we know he's not going to walk out the courtroom, period. But we do know that he's going to prison.
I tell you what, Florida guy, hold on. In what world do you think it's okay for him to get jumped by three other kids? Is that okay, Florida guy? We want it both ways. Just foolish. You sound like the same guy as OJ. He didn't get jumped, you idiot.
Yeah.
So, what
he's
do
a
we
violent
do?
Murderer, and he's in prison.
So what do we do?
Which witnesses? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep cussing the trolls out, we just gonna have a long conversation, Chad. Listen,
I have no problem with that. I have time tonight.
listen, I don't want no smoke, but I'm saying,
you good. I'm not making up shit. State of emergency.
You good. It ain't you. Believe me, I know him, Mr. Troll.
Oh, trust me. I have no dog in the fight. State of emergency. Both, as far as I'm concerned, both families are ruined. And listen, the young man should not have lost his life. He did deserve at least a manslaughter charge. I didn't say he shouldn't have gotten punished, but go ahead.
So, how do we going forward teach the youth so that this doesn't happen again?
Good luck, because I think it is going to happen. I don't think there's any way around it. We're literally told by this verdict that we're not allowed to defend ourselves. It was not cold-blooded murder, Chris. Shut up. Do you even know what it is? Blacks just say, you know what? How about you white folks? You do enough killing on your own. You know what? I tell you what. Stop popping opioids like Skittles. How about that? Can you do that?
So, trolls in the chat, can y'all at least speak to Mr. Uncle Claude before y'all come in?
I tell you what, geez. I'm matching their energy with the same way. Light shoving. Sure. Now he went from, first you said he didn't even touch him, now he's light shoving. Stop it, state of emergency. You just want to fix it the way Chud the Builder. We know Chud the Builder's not innocent. Chud the Builder's probably walking somebody's drawers right now. It's never you guys' fault. I've just had enough. Okay, trolling time's over. You guys can leave my platform now.
Go ahead, Malik.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so now that you got that off there, champ. So I mean, we need to come up with a solution because the youth are dying younger and younger, and a lot of them are not being held accountable for their actions. And I'm not speaking necessarily in this particular case. I'm just saying, like overall, like
no, I get it.
They are doing what they want, when they want, how they want, because there's no consequence. You know, personally, I say we should do like they did on Good Times about the junior warlords, where he put the peanuts on the table and he took the book and he smashed the peanuts. I think you're gonna have to, you're gonna definitely have to scramble a couple of eggs in order to get them to see that life is not what they think it is.
Oh, hold on a moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got company. You got the nurse came in. Go ahead, Malik. I can hear you.
Oh shit, not the nurse. Oh wow.
For you, we know.
No, I'm just trying to keep it light, Mr. C, because a minute ago he was on one. So like we got to come up with a solution because man they dying younger and younger and they have like no sense of life. Period. Like if they see an old person, they're gonna push them down, take their 50 cents for these. So it's like, how do you help combat these little young kids who have no sense of value, no value for life? It's like they think going to prison is a badge of honor.
Well, how do we think that they first got to thinking that way? What caused them to get to thinking that way? That's what you have to look at. The things that are shown on television, the music that we play, the things that they see in the gaming areas and all this stuff, and the lack of places for them to really express themselves when they get angry.
So now, Mr. C, I don't know where you are, but I'm in my hometown that you have tons of things for the youth to do. However, they refuse to do it. They want to do opposite. But the one thing I will say is in like the rec centers and in a lot of communities, we don't have the Mr. C's. We don't have the old head that sit on the porch first thing in the morning with the paper and the coffee. And he dropping the jewels and you sitting there like, oh, this old dude crazy. And then as you getting older, you realizing, old head made a whole lot of sense. Right. So we don't have that. And with us not having that, they are forced to turn to other outlets. And then second, when they do go to certain rec centers or certain programs and they do find someone that they can confide in who is willing to meet them where they are, and like I'm gonna say this, but only because you hear and you get it, that's gonna give them the tough love. Because the tough love is how we came up. You know what I'm saying? You can tell the difference in tough love.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, you could tell the difference in tough love versus abuse. So, like when they do find that OG, the OG winds up being taken away from them, and now the child is back to feeling betrayed and left behind again. And the powers that be, and sometimes have taken the OG back out of the rec center, or out of the community, and that's the biggest part that's killing the Black community right there. And I'm trying to go ahead.
There were, as you saying, there were such things as Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, which was hard for our kids to get into. But then they did have places like the YMCA. They had after school programs. They had places where kids could go. Even me, back in the 60s, hell, I had a place where I could go, and it was an old lady. She had this club. And on the weekends it's for adults, but during the week it was a place where us kids can go. We do our homework. We could act. We were acting kind of adultish, but we had to do our homework there, from number one for sure. And number two, it was a place to go instead of hanging out after school in the streets where you see a lot of craziness going on with the adults. We were in a safe haven. Kids are not in a safe haven anymore. They
And
they
that's
see violence everywhere. There's
so,
nobody
so
to tell them, don't be afraid. Come over here. Let's go. Let us take you to the park. A lot of parents haven't even taken their kids out on an outing, and they live in places where they got the zoos, they got the parks. I've seen plenty of places, and I've seen plenty of kids have never even left their neighborhood, let alone the city, to go visit somewhere. So it starts with the parenting too. The parents should want to get out there and take their child to a zoo, even if it's the St. Louis, or take them to a park, even if it's to watch the ducks walk around. And then they should sit down and have conversations with their children also, instead of being out here trying to be the toughest, trying to be the roughest person on the block or in the neighborhood, because they didn't get it. They had lack of love. They had lack of sense. Nobody ever took them anywhere, did anything for them. So why should I take my child? No, you take your child. And then there should be laws. And I'm going to say this, that should be passed. If your child does something, you hold that damn adult responsible for it. Just like they did that young, you see how they did that man when his child shot up the school? They charged his ass also, and he got time.
Hold
So
on, Mr.
I'm,
Carruthers. Let me stop you right there. So you think Carmelo Anthony's parents should be charged with this too?
no, no, no. See, Uncle Claude,
You
you are
you
missing the
literally
whole
just
point.
said.
No, no, you're missing the whole point. When kids are out there in the streets, and we know that boy didn't do anything, committing crimes and stuff. We're talking about committing crime. This boy didn't commit a crime. He was protecting. There's a big difference. Okay. A kid is out there stealing tires off a car, or he's
Yeah,
out there.
I get it. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just
Okay.
playing devil's
That's,
advocate. Hold on.
this is what
You
I'm
know
talking
that.
about. Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff where parents should be held accountable for. If you got a curfew in your town, your child better be in that house by that curfew. You see what I'm saying? So,
I'm gonna say I don't think his parents should be charged. However, I will say that they could have done a slightly better job. Like I hate to use the word school of hard knocks, but I mean they could have explained to him like I don't want to necessarily say emotional intelligence because it's a lot of pieces I don't know. Like they say that these two people had never met before, but the guy got suspended before for coming to school with a knife. So when he came to school the second time, it was premeditated. So again, it's it's one of them things where if parents stop trying to be their friend
I
and
agree.
be their parent, and
thank you.
I'm not
Thank you.
speaking on the Carmelo situation. I'm
Yeah, you're
saying
Yeah.
speaking in general. I know what you're saying.
as a
In
whole.
general, as a
I agree.
whole. And I get you. I get you on that.
So that's that's where, like I was saying, Mr. C, we need to get back to that because I hate to say this, as much as now James Evans will be crucified for what he did. And I've said it all the time. I've said it in my real life every time. I can't name no family in the projects that lived a life that hard that they lived,
Mhm.
and ain't nobody go outside and sell no dope. It don't work like that in Baltimore. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. But
And
you have
again,
to understand too. You have to understand too, when they showed us in a light, say like in the Evans family,
Another
you know, a
goddamn
few times,
American
when they
man.
showed us in the light like that, it was for entertainment value, entertainment purposes. That's why I can't stand these Real Housewives bull crap that everybody loves to look at. You see what I'm saying? A real man ain't gonna let his wife get out there, and that's another thing. Let his wife get out there and make a fool of herself, and especially not getting paid for it. You see what I'm saying? But yet we kind of idolize that bull crap because we wish, and some people do, and I don't, that it does happen like that. The lifestyles of the rich and famous back then is not like the lifestyles of the rich and famous today. They took you out and showed their mansions and all that. They wasn't fighting over each other and talking crazy. And they showed you the stuff that you could have if you were rich and famous. Not when you get rich and famous, you act a damn fool. There's a big
but
difference.
how about this though?
Malik, let me ask you a question.
Uh oh.
But no, no,
Yep.
no. I'm no. It's why is no? Oh no! I'm just asking.
Yeah.
First off, thank you for joining the panel. No, you've been cool, man. You've been cool.
Yeah.
What happened to James Evans in season 3?
They killed him all.
Exactly. Why do you think they did that?
Well, I actually watched the story on it, but also I get it because they took the black man out the household. I got you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now, but okay, so now I'm gonna say this, and because I'm over here, because my wife usually don't like me to share certain things. My father was murdered when I was 6.
Damn, I'm sorry, man.
Damn,
So
sorry about
now
that.
I'm 52. So what I did was I gravitated to the PAL Center. We had a PAL Center.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to be around like-minded people because I was going through a traumatic situation. But I
Experience.
still
Yeah.
had my father's brothers, my
Right,
aunts, my grandmother. I still had a family.
right.
So the one thing I did when I became a father young, after making an indiscretion, I had to realize that this ain't the way. So what I did was I began to set milestones for myself. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see my son get 6, to become 12,
Mm,
to become 18, to become 24. Now he's 32.
God bless.
I've done that
Right,
with all my children because I know what it's like for that person to be taken from you.
right. And
But I also
there is. Go ahead, finish it up. Go
but I
ahead.
also had access to some men that were men. Like I became an honorary member of the Sons of Allegiance because my mother went to the post. I was able to be around Masons. My brother and them were in fraternities. So I was able to be around men who actually said to me, okay, Shorty, let me get this straight. You made an indiscretion and you want to keep going down the same road. It makes no goddamn sense. Now, what you have to do now is use that as a stepping stone. So a lot of people, when it come down to it, take one situation and make it become a hindrance.
Right.
So we need to get back to, like I said, talking to men that's men. Because the one thing that men don't do, a lot of men will use pride and ego to kill themselves.
Thank you. I've always said that our ego will throw us way under the bus, get us hooked on the muffler, and get drugged down the street.
So it's one of them things where I look at it as though if Mr. C, I think he said 76, I'm
Yes,
52. Okay, shit, it got 14 years there. Hold up. Let me go tap in. Let me go tap in and see what I can learn from old school if I don't come over here and be a knucklehead. Now,
Yeah.
because I met Mr. C on here, he's kind of learned me through my wife. Like, this guy play a lot, but he's just playing because he's not taking YouTube serious. He gets it that this is just somewhere to blow off steam, tell a couple of jokes, and get back to your regular life. And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm just telling you that's all I do for. I mean, I really could care less about a lot of the things. But I've also had conversations on here with men who I've learned a lot of knowledge from. A lot of knowledge. Like, I've learned a lot of dumbass shit not to do at 60 from one guy. I tell my wife all the time, yo, if I'm 60 and I'm like that, just go ahead and put me out my misery. Just sit me somewhere in the corner, give me a cup of milk and the bingo board and the bib, and just let me be fucking. Because I'm just saying, like, it's crazy to me. But
Yeah, it's
again,
crazy.
I I I gotta be honest with me because I'm like, yo, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I gotta come on here and I'm just mad with the world, why come
Yeah.
on here?
I agree. I can't disagree. I cannot agree with you more.
So, like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dig into your background. So I'm gonna take my time to dig into your background to find out if your degree is real, not. But I don't care if you sold bubblegum and got money. I can learn how to sell bubblegum. I'm just
Yeah.
There's just certain things I'm not gonna do because as a man, it don't make sense. Plus, I wasn't raised like that. So it's a lot of things that I think men should do when it comes to helping the youth that are beneficial. Like I said all the time, I I've seen Uncle Claude around. I usually see him over there with MU and they in some big debates. I'll be listening. I'll be there. If I got something to say, I'll jump in. But it'd be a little thick over there. So with the trolls,
Yeah.
so you just
Yeah.
gotta be like,
The
hey, how's
trolls,
everybody?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and keep it moving. But at the same time, I've learned a lot about life from her story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, you can learn from anybody if you're open to listening. So again, gentlemen, how do we get these little kids to listen? Because as sad as this situation is right now, Texas only get ready to get worse because they didn't already started rioting,
Mhm.
Oh
they didn't
my
started
goodness.
looting, and the saddest part about this is
They're doing
all
it in
that
their
stuff.
own neighborhood.
Right, it's not gonna solve
See? See?
nothing.
No, it's not going to solve nothing. And they're doing it in their own neighborhood, which they're already taking funds out of the neighborhood anyway for anything. That's what I don't know, man. People are just so boneheaded when it comes to all these years of seeing cities tore up, burned up, and stuff. People being displaced and stuff,
So
and it nobody has learned the lesson except how to lash out in anger. Why can't you lash out and try to build a house for somebody on an empty lot? You know,
you
just
know
build the
why,
house.
Mr. C? Because somebody then told us that looting is the way that we get the drama and the grief off our chest. My
Yeah, you
city
you
is
get.
still in chaos right now from Freddie
Mhm.
Gray. And I know that's been
Oh
six,
yeah,
7 years.
yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it was going on even before that, but I know what you're talking about.
But I'm
yeah.
just saying, like,
I know what you're
it's
talking about, though.
it's to the point
I know
now
you.
where I walk out and I'll be looking at these little young kids and I'll be like, damn, like you just sitting here pissing your life away. And what makes it real sad to me is I, I've seen some young men that's real good at drawing, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
And the guy
there's a
one day
lot.
said, I used to work at a boys' home, and the guy said, hey man, you ever thought about being an engineer or an architect? He was like, man, that's for suckers. And I said something out my mouth and I spoke too fast. I said, man, the working man is the new sucker, but the working man is the new man. Now, back when I grew up, the working man was a sucker. But again, OGs taught you that it's a way out. You don't have to do this. And I'm the first to say all the old head dudes that was getting money in the street, now they down the port. So they just traded the dope game for the port game. They traded an illegal hustle for a legit hustle. So again, when you really sit and look at it, this younger generation got so many opportunities if they just reach their hand out. They are giving away programs to be CDL drivers, uh, HVAC operators, electric. They giving these trainings away, and they don't understand. Go ahead.
That's the thing that infuriates me right there. These guys have so much more opportunities when we were younger that we didn't have. And they throw it all away. Let me ask you something. Did you ever watch this movie called The Bronx Tale?
What?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are you serious?
And
You only get 3 good ones in your lifetime. Me, I had all mine by the time I was 21.
Now, the reason I asked that is that was the same statement that Robert De Niro gave his son. Because remember, he was being led by Sonny, who was the gangster there in the Bronx.
Yeah, yeah.
That the working man, that's the real tough man. And he was like, your working man's a sucker. Sonny taught me that. And we all know what happened to Sonny at the end. But I digress.
You know.
But you see, that's what I'm saying about these movies and shit. A lot of people look at them and they idolize it a little bit too much. That's not the real world.
Rodney, how you doing?
That's entertainment. You see what I'm? That's not the real world out there.
But you know what, Mr. C?
My guy, Dr. Soapy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
At one time, Mr. C, I know my generation grew up under El Murta and La Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours. But see, a lot of people, and I think you said about TV shows. In The Soprano, Tony Soprano said the most realest crap ever. He said, I sent my daughter to school to be a lawyer so she can get us off of the crimes we're into. That's what it's about. And in The Bronx Tale, when you referenced it, Uncle Claude, Sonny and his father both taught him the saddest thing in life.
Yep, wasted talent. And I was getting to that, but you got there. You got there. So I'm glad that you brought it out. Because that's where I was headed. Because Sonny was the one who actually told him that first. The worst thing in the world is wasted talent.
Wasted talent. And that's
what remember what else was he told? That he'd rather be feared than loved because the fear lasts long.
Yeah.
Trust me, that's in fact the Bronx Tale was made not too far.
That's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing to say to your family members or anybody. You rather be feared than loved. When you came in this world under love, through love. You see what I'm saying?
So and that's what's actually keeping us in this world, whether we realize it or not. But that's another chapter in another book.
Well, Mr. C, I'm going to say this. And this probably going to go viral. I would rather have respect than loyalty.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that they're one and the same.
They're not.
For all those people who don't understand, loyalty comes with a price.
Yes, it does.
And when people really realize that loyalty comes with a price, they'll understand why I choose respect.
Yeah.
Because loyalty usually comes with the price that we're both beneficial to each other. But when one person is less beneficial to the other, that's when the chaos and pandemonium comes in.
Right. You hit $500,000 on the lottery, and I get pissed off at you instead of being happy for you because you didn't share it with me. You see what I'm saying? That's dumb. I respect you enough to where I'm happy for you. I'm not going to ask you for a handout either. Just don't forget where you came from. You know, come by and see me every day. If not, can't do that, make a phone call. Say, hey, how you doing? And I can tell you, hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I do have youngsters that walk by my house. They come when I'm sitting out drinking my coffee. How you doing? And they do the use the same phrase. How you doing, OG? But everything all right? You need anything? Oh yeah, I'm cool. I'm all right. And it's not that gangster type stuff. It's the respect that they give me because they know they can come sit at my house and have a conversation. Even if it's about the little simplest things, we can talk. And I'm not going to try to steer them wrong on that. Yeah. But I will tell them when they are wrong about certain things. Don't treat that girl like that, boy. Don't call her a bitch out there in the street. Because what do you expect somebody else? Would you want your mother to be called those names? You hit them with that. How much do you love your mother? How much do you love that woman you're with? Love is more important. You got to love one another in order to continue on in life. You can't go in the
So
world hating. Don't go in the world
another
hating.
another thing I want to bring up is when I'll be watching folks do the whole mother thing. I came up in a time where my mother was your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you may have seen this, Uncle Claude, Mr. C. I seen two brothers get ready to fight over that you mother crap. I promise to God. The other brother was like, man, your mother, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, they got the same mother. He said, yo, you never question your mouth, right? And I was like, y'all brothers. He was like, no, yo, I don't play that mother stuff, brother or not. And I was like, whoa. And I
Yeah,
realized that in the hood, that mother thing, boy, if you want to get your jaw rocked real fast, say something about a nigga mother.
yeah. Well, but see, then again, like I said, that reverts back to all the things that changed after that. You got to remember, we had good women out there before the crack cocaine epidemic came along, too. Look at that. There's a lot of things that made us change the drugs and the, like I said, even the music changed on us as a culture, as a society. And we bought into it. We bought into it. I would never have thought that I could hear the word nigga played out so much and so loud through a car stereo and not by us, by other people. You see what I'm saying? But yet
But
we were
now,
the ones that made that music.
but hold on,
We
Mr.
were
C.
the
Oh, hold on.
ones.
I gotta call BS on that. Cause Archibald Bunker definitely called Georgia nigga a whole lot. And he called them a honky.
And you see how far that show got too, didn't you? You
Listen,
see how
that
far it
show,
got. The spinoffs from that Archie Bunker stuff had the same black characters on there as they say, what, moving on up.
and that's my point though, Mr. C. And I hate to say this, back then that word was used between the races to where as though folk really wasn't tripping. And I
It was
was
used
young then.
in real life. It wasn't used like that. In real life, no. That's like I said again. That's entertainment. That's TV. Because
Okay, so
if a real man had sat in front of your face and said the words that Archie Bunker said to George Jefferson, you'd have knocked the shit out of him.
now,
See what I'm saying? That's
and again,
entertainment. That's
but
entertainment.
okay,
Reality and real life. That's what we have to look at.
so now I can't dispute that because I wasn't I was probably I was born in '74, so I probably was 5 or 6 or something when that joint was on, something like that. But what I'm saying, Mr. C, is we have a problem now with the N word being used by other ethnicities. Why don't we have a problem with it being used amongst us?
Because we were geared and you were conditioned that it's all right for y'all to say it and them to say it now. You see what I'm saying?
So
Like I said, going riding down the street, you'll hear that N-word being pumped through the music of cars and radios and stuff. You hear it. Uh,
so
we
Let's
accepted it
also
instead of us when they started. Let me tell you how the word Negro about the word Negro. We were before we were Negroes, we were niggers. Let's face it. After that, they had the Negro baseball leagues because they were in a society that to where it looked good for us to be playing ball. We had moved up from that lazy, shiftless, countless word to a word that meant something. You were playing either baseball, basketball, or you were in football. You were a Negro league. But then you became black because what James Brown said it, you were supposed to be black and proud.
That was
But then you
1968.
reverted. Yeah. Then you reverted back to other stuff.
So I totally get where you're coming with that, Mr. C. I'm just saying that it it's not right either way. Like
It's never been
so
right.
so
It's never been,
so
but we've been so willing to accept what they offer us. That's what I'm saying.
Mr.
I
Carruthers,
don't, I don't,
let me chime in because I've been pretty quiet around here.
mm.
he ready to
And you're
put the
both
big
right.
he ready to put the
And you're
big
both
hand
right.
down.
But here's the thing: we've we put out too many damn invitations to the damn cookout, and we weren't smart enough to send these people home. That's our problem.
So now let me say this then, okay, Uncle Claude. So um you are from New York, right?
Yes, I am. Born and
Okay.
raised.
So now the New York thing at one time, 80s, early 90s, was what up, son?
Yep,
Because it was, a term of endearment, like, what up, son? You know what I mean? It comes from the 5% nation of Islam.
that's right.
Now,
Mhm.
I again in Baltimore, you can Google this right now on YouTube. You can literally pull up a video on YouTube or Instagram where they call each other dummy as a term of endearment. I had one of my sons, homeboy, call me dummy, and I wanted to put his teeth 3 blocks down the street because
And that
he
wasn't right
figured,
either. We were stupid doing that. I'm not going to sit up here and say that
but
that was all right to call each
but
other
no,
dummy. It was
no,
foolish.
no, I'm saying that's dumb. But they
It is.
try to equate it to us calling each other son when they don't really understand what that meant. See, like Mr. C said, the dynamic now has totally changed.
It
It
has.
totally changed. And again, I hate to say this, but I heard the old miserable guy say he doesn't want a woman to call him daddy because he got a daughter. Then why are you calling her mama? I'm not
Yeah.
understanding that. That's the dumbest
I,
crap. But
it's,
see, I learned that he say dumb shit because of what he is. Also, he running around here trying to be Petey Green. If you well, I know Mr. C and Uncle Clark,
Petey
you know
Green,
who
I
Petey,
remember that. I
right?
remember.
yeah.
But now
Oh,
every
yeah.
time I see him, I'll be like, yo, why is you taking Petey Green style, yo? That's what and I'm sitting here. I'm like, yo, that was Petey Green. Like that, the whole thing. You didn't change not one facet of it.
Petey Green could chew a steak, but I digress.
Ooh, it's brutal. It's
Uh,
brutal over here. It's brutal over here. It's brutal. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if if you're going to teach these young boys, as you say, you gotta give them the real deal.
yeah.
And I'm telling you all the time, they will listen to you. But
Hmm.
most young people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And they can
Yeah.
look at some people and be like, man, nigga, you phony as I don't know what. Yo, go ahead, man. You read that in the book somewhere.
Yep,
Hmm.
Because I hate to say it, kids and children, they can peep BS from a mile away, son. And dogs, if a dog don't run to you naturally and he stay off, the dog know this nigga on some bullshit, man. He on some bullshit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to get back to that old school mentality. I miss the old dudes on the corner with the newspaper, 7:30 on a Saturday, Sunday morning, and a half a pint in the other pocket, boy. Talking about, boy, I had to come get me a pack of squares, boy. Gotta go back down here, you know what I mean? Sit with the wife. We gonna watch a little We're gonna watch the news that's been on all morning or whatever. But
Yeah.
again, I'm gonna go ahead and watch the westerns. I was like, the westerns. I got a partner right now. This nigga still watch westerns.
Well, yeah, good evening, chat. Another thing, that's one thing I'm gonna say to it. Good evening, chat. Welcome to Uncle Claw's panel, and thank you for being here. But let me tell you something. My daddy watched westerns. My daddy watched westerns back in the day. Even not my dad, my mom even watched them. So
My mom did too.
yeah,
Watch those westerns.
I watch Wagon Train. I watch Wagon Train. Half Gun Will Travel, Gunsmoke, and all them series. They ran long before some of you guys were even born, but they ran them in reruns. You see what I'm saying? What
They
you
sure
see that day, I had already seen maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
So now you still watch Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie and what was
No,
the other
because
what
I've
was,
gotten older, my tastes have changed in movies.
what was the other
I
joint?
watch I watch a lot of sci-fi. I'm a monster for Nerio. I like Godzilla. I like those movies that pique my interest because I've never been afraid of a ghost. My daddy let us know when we were little, he's the boogeyman. So ain't no such thing as a boogeyman.
I can see you. I can see you and Uncle Claude trading episodes of McHale's Navy right now on y'all on
No,
y'all jitterbug.
I remember that show.
Watch McHale's Navy like
McHale's
Yeah.
Navy.
Private Benjamin. Yeah, I see y'all. Y'all Gomer Powell, MD. I see y'all trading episodes. Hey man, I just saw this one. Golly, Shazam. But look,
Yeah.
Well, hey, Uncle Claude, we're gonna have him in on the conversation too, because he knows about it more than we do.
but you know what though?
So,
I guess it's
yeah, that's
because
just what Jim Neighbors was saying too when he was bent over.
Yeah.
I digress.
but see Uncle Claude and Mr. C, and I'm gonna say this again, and my wife say sometime I share too much. But see, Big Mama bust her ass she had damn near a 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade education, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she bust her ass, right? And one day I came over the crib and I said, damn, what the hell is this big ass box? She had bust her ass and got that big console TV
Yeah.
that sat on the floor.
Yeah. Oh
I
And
yeah.
then
remember those.
she hit a lottery number. So I went in the dining room and they had a new hi-fi. And that was fine. So now I say, Ma, is grandma still back in the day? She said, baby, I'm being as modern as I'm gonna be. And she took her house windows and she traded the house windows and made them bay windows and put up the vertical blinds. So on North Avenue, you can see, and I would say, Grandma, you know you got us in the fishbowl. She said, but it's my fishbowl and it's clean. And I had to understand
And there you
exactly
go.
what hard work meant. Her big mama had that little change purse and that little the moo that God forbid. And I tell you,
Now
God
those
forbid, the metal fan in the window blow the wrong way, and that joint flip up, and you like, Granny, oh my God, come on, Granny, come on. Ah, boy, be quiet, boy. And she put that cold towel around her neck. Ooh, boy, go get me a Coke 45, baby. Coke 45, a couple of crabs, brother. And Granny would take, peanuts and stretch it and feed the family, pay the
yeah,
bills, and
yeah,
still would have in that change burst. Remember that
yeah.
old little rolled up funky
Oh yeah, that
$50?
little with a little snap on the top. Mm-hmm.
She would go in there and have that rolled up funky $50. And I would sit there and say, and I would be like, wow. And now when I look back, that's what life was about. Cause back then we was rich. Because
Yeah,
you had a
yeah,
loaf of bread, somebody had some
yeah,
hamburgers, somebody had some charcoal, somebody went and got
yeah.
some tater chips, a couple paper towels, a whole case of little hugs or made some Kool-Aid, and the
Mm-hmm.
whole block would be out front with a cookout. And you'd be sitting
Yeah.
there like, damn. And would nobody trip. If you came from other
We're
streets,
talking about a thing.
everybody would eat. Everybody would eat.
Everybody. And like I said, there was a time, even when I lived in Chicago back in the 50s, we would have block parties to help people pay their rent.
Oh
with their
shit.
light turned on. So it wasn't unusual. We barbecued. They sold stuff because I wasn't old enough to sell nothing. I was eating it all. They sold potato chips, beer, drinks. Liquor. They even had card games.
Oh man.
Setting up there playing dominoes and stuff. And the kids, we'd be running around and laughing and talking. Didn't nobody jump up and get mad, and it was just love there in that area. That's what I'm saying. You
So
have to
Mr.
learn
C,
to be
it's
compassionate.
right. It's two card games I never learned to play.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to find an old head to teach me. But they
Don't
few
tell
and
me
far in
spades.
between. No,
Don't tell
no.
me spades. Okay, black. Let me see. Excuse me.
I give you
Bid,
another
bid,
guess at both of them. But it's two games.
Midwest.
Yes,
Midwest
one.
was one.
Yes,
Okay,
one.
and let's see. What's the other one that a lot of people don't? They play, but they don't play now. Well, no, we played Midwest. We played spades. Uh,
I seen fight start over this one.
Spade.
Nope.
spade game is only well Midwest. I seen a fight over Midwest now too, but I'm trying to think of what would be the other game that you really don't know how to play. Not canasta.
No. Don't even know how to play that. But you ready?
Uh-huh.
I seen
Pity
I
pat.
seen no, I seen the whole block. But no. In this particular case, in my indiscretion, I seen two dudes stop everything over a goddamn pinochle game. And I was like, what the hell is so special? And when I sat and watched, they say pinochle is spades on steroids. And I still haven't learned it. But if you know how to play pinochle, they say
Oh,
you'll never
Pinot.
play. They say you'll
You never
never
play
play
spades
spades.
again. Yeah.
All I learned was the queen of diamond and the jack of diamond is a marriage. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, when it comes to stuff like that, we some people take it more serious than others for some reason. Let's just say the human being is an aggressive. He's more aggressive than any other type of social being animal out there in the world. We're more aggressive when it comes to wanting to win all the time. Everybody remembers the winner, but nobody remembers second place.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's good to come in second. That way it'll make you better to come in first later on. You learn from those mistakes that cause you to lose that game.
So,
But there's some people out there that think that you should know it. And we all have to be taught things. Even a race car driver has to be taught how to drive a car, even though he knows how to drive. But when it comes to racing, there are certain things that he has to learn about drafting, you know, how much gas to use, and, how your tires, the wear and tear on your tires. There are certain things we have to learn if we want to be winners. And then we got to
so
strive for that. And you don't put anybody down while you're trying to do it either. That's another thing. Because the
and
worst fights,
gentlemen,
like you said, yeah, the worst fights that break out is because that second place or third place person thought the first place guy was cheating.
what-
So
in my opinion, most fights happen because of poor communication.
yeah, yeah,
And you're right about that. Sometimes communication is definitely the key.
you're
You're
right.
right about
So,
that.
Right.
so gentlemen, this has been great.
You've been
I
great,
learned
Malik.
I learned a lot from you two AARP Platinum Card members.
Hey, they have good discounts.
Hey, Blake, I don't even use my AARP because they already give it to me. They know me.
I'm I'm going to say this. A lot of people don't believe I got one.
Yeah,
I'm 50.
there's
I'm
nothing wrong with
50.
it.
I'm 52. I'm not as young as they be thinking. But I also understand the one thing. And it feels good to be 52 because
Yeah,
I look back and a lot of people didn't make it.
Yeah, tell me
Thank
about
you. I say
Or a
that
lot of
every
people
time.
are behind the wall, or a lot of people are drugged out, and they have like no sense of what's really going on. So
Mhm.
I will say this though, gentlemen, it's always good to be able to have a civilized conversation,
Yes, it is.
even when Uncle Claude is just going ham in the chat.
it. I gotta give the people what they want.
But I mean, again, Mr. C, I do want you to have that conversation that they were talking about yesterday on Lady Nika's before. And again, let me apologize for my behavior.
Oh, that hey,
Yes.
Malik, you don't have to apologize to me. That's not my platform. I understand your frustrations. Believe me, I've been there. Tonight I was there. But
No,
hey,
but my wife be on me. She be like, I don't know why you do that. And I'll be like, yo, I just
well,
don't do BS in my real life. And
well, look at it.
I be
Look at it
having to
this way.
call a spade sometimes. So
Look at
but
it this way. Look at it this way. At least you have a moment to calm you down and talk to you. A lot of them guys, these guys on here, don't have anybody. And that's what makes them keep on floating and acting a fool out there. And once you have somebody to talk some sense into you as a man, and you know they're right, you think about it and say, okay,
yeah,
I'll approach this a different way.
I'm
That's
I'm
all.
thankful. I'm thankful for that. Not to
Yeah.
mention, I'm not 60 in the house and I left my mother in the projects. I still don't understand how you leave Mom Dukes in the projects.
Well, like I said,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
never mind, never mind. You
yeah,
know,
a lot
you
of
don't
people.
understand these.
I understand, and a lot of never mind.
Right,
No,
right, right,
right.
right.
I don't
Because
want to
if
because I have. I'm gonna tell you guys something really seriously. I do have a couple of court cases going on about me being here on YouTube and that the way things were said. So I'm looking at it as now he's putting people in jail. No, I'm not. They put themselves in jail. You see what I'm saying?
so
I
now,
didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything to you. So don't come
oh,
bringing
oh
this
no,
bull crap to me. You
oh
know,
no. I mean, you
but
sometimes you got to do what you got to do for you,
right.
and that's you
And as an
handling
old
your
man,
business.
now as an old man, let me tell you this: I paid my dues. I paid my dues. But I'm not
But
going to disrespect. I'm not going to let you disrespect me because your dues haven't been paid. You're mad at the wrong person. You see what I'm saying? You're mad, and like you said, I hope they get to be my age. I hope a lot of people on here get to be my age. But the reality of it is, a lot of people won't. But I still got to keep on striving the best way I know how. And I'm not going
okay,
to lie on you. I'm not going to tell no falsehoods on you on here. I just go by the way you present yourself. And that goes for anybody.
yeah, because
And to
I,
speak
I
the
don't.
truth. And yeah, definitely speak the truth.
Yeah, I don't understand when your man came up with the whole diabetes thing. I was like, dude, you ain't got don't lie on me. I mean, if you want to play the health I don't have diabetes. But let's not play that one though. And see that'd be my thing. Like
Yeah, yeah. But be honest
I
with
don't
you.
know how to drag. I'm not gonna scream. I'm just gonna hit
Mm,
you with the facts. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie roast on you. I'm just gonna
yeah,
present the facts. The
yeah.
fact
And see,
was
that's
a
it.
nigga
And a
came
lot
to
of
your house in the
we talk
Uber.
about the kids. We talk about our kids bullying one another. Well, goddamn, they see the adults on here bullying one another every day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Uncle Claude.
So
Mr. C gonna
Yes,
come
sir.
over your house.
and
He
yeah,
gonna come over there in a
I do
gypsy
cook
cab.
grits. I ain't cooking none now, but I cook grits, but I'm not cooking any grits now. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. C gonna catch a gypsy cab from Harlem to Queens, and we, never mind, never mind. But again, it was fun. It was fun, gentlemen.
It was
I see
great.
you
It was great
around.
tonight.
But
Well,
Uncle
thank you
Claude,
for
Hey,
joining. Thank you so much.
The
Thank you
Knicks
for
gonna
joining.
win in six.
Hey,
They're gonna win in six.
Well,
oh,
then
here we go.
they didn't do their job if they win in six.
Yeah, but they for one, it's no money in the sweep, and they lost
Thank
last
you.
night. So that they're
Yeah.
going to
Thank you.
win. They're going to win in the Garden, it's gonna go back to San Antonio. San
Yeah,
Antonio
let's
gonna
thank
win,
him.
and then they're gonna come back to the Garden and bring it home.
To the Gardens and
Now,
win it
Well,
at
I
home.
hope
if they
so for
come
them.
back, if they come back to the Garden and catch an L, you can cancel Christmas because they going back to San Antonio, and
Yeah,
it's
they
a wrap.
lost. Yeah, they're not winning Game 7 there. They're not winning Game 7.
So you might want to tell Spike Lee, let them tickets go for half price next year, because I'm sure he gonna be really mad this time. Spike gonna be heated this time.
Boy, I tell
But
you what, y'all better look out. Did Trump show up there last night?
Yes, he
yeah,
did. He was there, and he was invited by James Dolan, who was the owner of the
Uh,
Knicks.
so was
He,
how
Giuliani
did that
there?
go?
um, I don't believe so. I think he's still recovering. I know he
Yeah,
almost
Giuliani's been sick though. He has
he
been sick.
he was really sick
Yeah,
for a while.
he was at a couple of Yankee games last year. Posted up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we really like the real Trump said. Well, whatever. It's about the revenue, TV revenues, and the money. So I'm looking for them to stretch this out to 7 games.
I
I
don't think it's
mean,
going to be 7. I think it'll be
you
6.
really don't.
And
With the way
this,
the
this,
economy and the money's going nowadays, and people
yeah.
needing their, yeah, I think it's going to go 7 games. I
If
really
it
do.
if it
Even though
if
New
it
York
goes
is a better
7,
team. Even though New
if it
York is
go
a better team, right?
well, actually, San Antonio's the better team. New York just hungry.
Well, nah, I don't think so. You think
Uh,
they blew them kind of leads because they were the better team?
New York is just hungry. San Antonio is the better team.
And what makes
San
you
So
Antonio has
hungrier,
the best player on the court,
who?
but New York has more. Has I think New York has more of a team game together.
So
I think they play together better than San Antonio does.
you take Brunson out. Then what they gonna do?
Well, he's their leader. But see, here's the problem with Brunson, and that's why they lost Game 3. Sometimes he holds on to the ball a little too much.
So now you
Brunson will get stuck trying to play hero ball sometimes, and that
so
slows down the rest of the game.
so
Carl
Uncle
Anthony
Clark.
Towns doesn't get enough touches,
So now Uncle
and that's
Clark.
when the Knicks start to lose.
So now
Brunson,
you know.
here's the thing: the first 2 games,
yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns severely outplayed Wemby. It wasn't even close.
So now listen though.
Last night
If,
was the first time where Wemby severely outplayed Carl Anthony Towns. And you see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
so now listen to me. If you take the head off, the body shall fall, and that's my point. If you take Brunson away, they're done. You see how when he twisted that ankle in game 1, he ran back there, got that hydrocortisone shot, and was like, "I got to get back out there."
Listen,
That's
he's their captain. He's their leader. Of course, I mean, when you
Of
lose
course you go.
your
I would say
captain,
that
it's going to be a huge loss. I
so
mean,
now
he
that's
is
the
their leader. I mean,
but that's the
that's
same
like saying
problem.
if Wemby tears an ACL, you think San Antonio has a shot at winning?
Yes, they won without Wemby when Wemby was
They're
suspended
not
for
winning
that
a
game.
championship without him.
Okay, so now I want you to listen, Uncle Clark. They can win without Wemby because they are a team that plays cohesively. I'm just saying, New York is the hungrier team. You know what it's like to be hungry and your stomach touching your back and you lightheaded and your knees is New York is hungry like that. Because contrary to popular belief, if the Knicks lose, oh my God, New Yorkers are gonna be what?
Well,
Boy,
a
some of
lot of
these
them were
some
acting stupid last night. And did you see what happened out there?
come on.
It was
No,
crazy.
I
It was
didn't watch it.
ridiculous.
I know honestly, I didn't watch the game. Like I said, I didn't.
They were
I
showing what
was,
happened after the game around Times Square, around 34th Street. It was
Okay, so
ridiculous. People were getting hit upside the head. They
boy.
beat up the guy with spurs. It's stupid. It's a sport. Now,
gentlemen,
obviously, some of these refs had about a G placed on San Antonio night before. You could tell because it was
so
ridiculous. Some of the calls that were being made, but
Yeah.
They were bad calls on both ends of the court. To be quite honest. So,
okay,
But no,
gentlemen. I
all
gotta
right.
dash. I gotta be a
all
father
right.
right now. My son wants
Okay,
my
Malik.
attention, so I don't
Well,
YouTube
that
when
comes
my
first.
child's around. So y'all
That comes
have a good
Okay.
one. I'll
You
definitely
too.
You
see
have a
you
good
again.
one, Malik.
All
All
right, brother.
right.
Well, thank you for joining. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
I never even got to the Muhammad Ali component when it came to the verdict. I did not get to that. And here's an important reason why. Because we know now, for those who don't know, last Wednesday made the 10-year anniversary of the passing of Muhammad Ali. Because I had actually meant to do that last week, actually this weekend, but things got out of hand. We know that Muhammad Ali's career is broken down to halves. In the first half of Muhammad Ali's, I'll talk about his professional career. I'll leave out the Olympics, because remember, when Muhammad Ali won his Olympic gold medal, he was not a heavyweight. He was a light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, right.
From 1960 to 1967, when he got stripped of his title, because he had never lost the title in the ring. Remember that. He lost the title because he would not go into the army. Because you know as well as I do, back in the day, you remember the draft, and he was drafted to go to Vietnam.
Vietnam War.
And he said that he would not go to Vietnam. And if you remember, he said the Viet Cong never called me an N-word. And his enemies were here in the United States. And if you remember those turbulent 60s, they actually were. And remember, before he became Muhammad Ali, he was getting death threats. He was getting all types of, it was ridiculous, all the things that he was going through.
Yeah.
And please forgive me, panel. And don't worry, I see you, Real Trump said. I see you. Please forgive me.
I see you too, Real Trump.
Sometimes I get lost, and I have tunnel vision when it comes to the platform. So please bear with me. Muhammad Ali, though, did something that many people refuse to do. And that is why Muhammad Ali, to me, is the greatest athlete this country has ever produced. Now, Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete I ever saw. But Muhammad Ali stood up, and he lost everything in order to gain everything. He put everything on. He put his life on the line. He put his championship on the line. He put it all on the line for our people. He just did. And remember, he and Malcolm X were extremely close at one time. But when he left the Nation of Islam, he and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X never spoke again. And if you remember, the last time they spoke, I believe, was in 1964 in Miami. And that was the Sonny Liston bout, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, when he left, just a moment. Now, you can tell it's live, ladies and gentlemen, but I got
okay.
Remember, my nurse just left, and I think somebody's coming. Now I almost lost my thought. Ali almost went to prison, but luckily he didn't have to go to prison. Hold on, Lucky, relax, okay? I normally don't talk, but he's a nice dog.
Doggy sitting.
He just, those little ones, they're all barking, no bite.
Yeah.
You think he's a guard dog, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's working, so to speak. But from 1960 to 1967, no one could even touch Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was lightning fast. He was 215 pounds. I mean, and he was the biggest guy in the ring. Muhammad Ali won more fights after his prime. He won more fights against more Hall of Famers than any other boxer in the history of boxing. And he was not the same fighter. His reflexes were slow. He would do the rope-a-dope. And we know that later on that failed him because he developed Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
And he paid the ultimate price. But, and let me tie it all down. It's amazing how race still plays such a huge part. I love you too, Cheryl. That's my blood cousin
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, this Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Um, it is just crazy in 2026 that race still plays such an important part in this country. And everybody wants to sweep it under the rug. And as long as we continue to sweep it under the rug, we're going to keep getting these type of verdicts, these type of outcomes, and we're going to see riots out in the streets. Because instead of dealing with the problem the right way, I've heard more stupid stuff. When you hear a raccoon like Morgan Freeman say, don't talk about it. That's the absolute worst thing you could do is not talk about it, you idiot. And you're from
Well,
Mississippi and Alabama, you
yeah,
dope.
but you
You
see,
have to
that's
talk
what
about it.
happens to a lot of us when we get that, like I said, that almighty dollar, that
Yeah, he got
prestige.
his Hollywood check. Of course it doesn't affect him, freaking
Yeah,
idiot.
you know, people people want to be idolized. I never ever in my life, even when I was a disc jockey, I went places that a lot of young black men couldn't go or get into because I played the music. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to be idolized. I never want, because no man is an idol.
That's
You don't
right.
worship. You don't worship a man just because he has $1 million. You don't worship a man because he's handsome to the women and you see him with women hanging on both arms. Believe me, folks, if I had it to do all over again, the only thing I wished for is that my voice hadn't changed at 16 when it did. I wish it had changed at a later age. But unfortunately, during those times when a young man's voices change, everybody thinks he's a man. No, I wasn't a man. I wasn't a man until I became 19 years old and I got married and I realized the value of a family. But then again, too young to understand that I needed to stay. You see what I'm saying? So, out of all life's lessons that I have learned, I've also learned that family is the most important thing we got. And if you can't love one another as a family, how do you expect somebody out in the street to love you when they see that you don't care for your family? So why should they care about you? Or your family doesn't care about you even. So that's why I'm so strong in family values. Like I can tell stories of myself with my dad and mom going on picnics, going to barbecues, going fishing, going to the zoo, which I understand a lot of young men and women have never had done before as a family. Yeah, mom will take them, and that makes mom the biggest backbone. That's why I say there were a lot of women out there raising kids on their own, even when I was growing up. But that made them, they still treated them with respect. Nowadays, a mother trying to raise her child alone, she's got a problem. There's something wrong with her. You see what I'm? No, there's nothing wrong with her. It's just that the values of a man has changed and society has changed it. So I struggle to not try to argue with people because I know for a fact now that we were not all raised the same. Some people were raised in the South. Some people been raised out West. I was raised in the North, as they want to call it, Chicago, but I left Chicago at an early age. But there are things that I have seen. There are things that I will not talk about because they do trigger me. But I have to let people know that if something triggers you that much, you get help, number one. Number two, don't try to be around it where it triggers you all the time. That's another thing. So I appreciate people on here that do have great conversations at times. You can get on their chat and you don't have to be worried about calling an old fuddy-duddy just because. Because like I said, it's a lot of people on here, even with my music platform, that I know are way younger, but they appreciate the value of that music because their parents played it when they were coming up, or they got romantically involved with somebody when they were coming up as young people. So I try to, now at my age, I try to enjoy things. I'm going to the gay pride thing this Saturday. It's on the 14th. I'm going to go out there and shoot some video. Why? It's not that because I'm a gay man. It's because I have a gay grandson and I'm proud of him. And I'm also proud of those people of his same stature that are out there in the world. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for any self-gratitude or anything else. I'm proud of my grandson and I'm proud of the people around him. And I love my grandson, regardless to what his affiliation is or anything. He's still my flesh and blood. And when a lot of people can get that in their hearts, I don't care if you live to be 99 or 100, just be able to say that you love a person for whom they are and not of what they are. Rich, poor, sickness, and in health. That's what it's all about.
This country is at the threshold right now. And depending on how we react in these next 6 months is going to let us know what direction this country is going to go in. That's my opinion. And
Yeah,
I know a lot of people do not share that opinion, and that's fine.
that's fine. That's what we all, that's why we're all different. You know, that's why you might be, what, 6 foot tall and I'm only 5'9". But that doesn't mean a thing. We're still human beings. You know. I like I said, I'm tired. I've been tired of trying to compare myself to something that I see on TV and getting down about it. No, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I've always been better than that. I love entertainment. That's why I did what I did. And I thank God for giving me that gift. And I still have it today. Because there are a lot of people my age right now, they can't even get up out of bed. You see what I'm saying? They can't even walk in their backyard, their front yard, or to the grocery store. But I can, and I'm thankful for it. I'm blessed. As that song I play, I'm blessed and highly favored. Yes, I am. In my heart and in my mind and in my soul. And those people out there that are less fortunate than me, I tell them all, I love you as Jesus loves us. I may not be able to do anything for you except give you words of encouragement, but at least you'll be able to try a little bit harder. That's all.
This trial has been exactly as I thought it would go, unfortunately. It is going to get worse before it gets better. I mean, that is what, well, even Jesus taught us that.
Be right back.
And I understand that, unfortunately, the Bible is not as popular as it once was. A lot
Hey,
of people
baby.
don't even believe that there is a God.
Okay,
Some people think,
I'm at a live on Claude right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go.
You
I'll
want
go
you
there.
okay, you gonna go over there. Well, wait a minute. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. I'm gonna let you say hi to Uncle Claude.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
oh, hey, how are you?
Hey, Uncle
I
Claude.
know that's the first lady. I know it.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
I'm doing good.
It is always a pleasure
How
to
you
hear from you.
doing? How's Mama doing?
She's doing good. She's resting up right now. But she had a good day
Well,
today.
that's
She had a very good day.
that's
Bless your
good.
heart. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Okay, baby. I'll
All right.
all
All
right.
right. Later.
Later, honey.
Take care. Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah. Like I tell people, oh Jesus. God is always on my side. You know, he wanted me to hear from her just then. And I tell you, Uncle Claude, that woman has stuck by me through thick and thin. Even though we're not even living together, she's been in my corner. You know what I'm saying? So I just pray every day. That's all I can do. That's all I
You
can
know,
do.
she stays in my prayers and positive thoughts. She stays in
Yeah,
all that.
yeah. But
And I can
she,
never thank you all enough. You know, y'all been there for me during the toughest of times.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe I thought maybe this will help her because she's been kind of down a little bit herself, and maybe this will help her get back the awareness that hey, people do care. People do care. And that's another thing. If you lose all hope and everything, it's hard. It's hard. So, not saying that she's lost all hope, but it's the road to recovery is long. And when we're recovering from things, sometimes it just puts us in a different place. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
especially when it's taking longer than expected.
yeah, longer than
It's a, it's
expected.
a,
So,
it's
yeah,
definitely a patience game, and it's hard to be patient at our ages.
and all right, yeah, yeah.
I know it's hard for me. I'll keep the focus on myself. It's hard for me to stay
Hey,
focused.
hey,
Hey, listen,
like I said,
I'll be the first to admit it. I admit when I'm wrong. I'm
yeah.
wrong a lot, but I know that
I
my
mean,
heart is in the right place, and
yeah.
I just try to do the best I possibly can.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
I stayed on a
Uh,
lot longer than I expected to stay on this evening, but
well,
I'm glad I
that
did because this
that's
really
because
needs.
number one, that's number one because we had a good conversation.
Yes, we
Number
did.
number two, it eases our hearts and minds, in a way to where we don't. I'm trying not to let things, like I said, bother me anymore, but we all
Listen,
need somebody to talk to. And we all need people to talk to, regardless, even if it's on here on this apparatus or even out in your real life. Don't be afraid to hold a conversation and mean what you say what you mean, but
yep,
above all, be honest about it.
and
So,
it's you have to do that. Yeah, if you stand, you have to stand for something.
yeah, you stand for,
You have
if
to,
you
or
stand,
you'll fall for
yeah,
anything.
well, for
And,
anything,
and
there it
these
is.
people, well, I mean, let's face it. So you have some people who go out of their way to try and make other people miserable.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And,
I'm
and,
not
and
going to
I,
be around you for that.
yeah,
If you're gonna be like that, you need to stay the f away from me because
yeah,
I'm not trying to be with that garbage.
no,
I'm trying to elevate people, and I want people to elevate around me. I want nothing but the best for our people.
yeah,
And when I say our people, I'm talking about the people who rock with me. I'm not talking about, and you could be
mhm,
anybody. You could be white, black, blue, or yellow. I could care
yeah,
less.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
about it
because
is about
you cut,
the real person. It's about the heart of that person. It's
yeah,
not about the color of that person. I mean, my gosh, this country, we must do better. We must
mhm.
do better as a people. We must do better as a country. If not, listen, a house divided cannot stand. And this country is
And
more
shit, it ain't
divided
been
now than
standing since
ever.
it's more, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That foundation definitely wasn't built on a rock. So,
Absolutely not. It's built on sand, quicksand. And they better move it onto rock mass.
mhm.
This is supposed to be a Christian nation. Can we start acting like it, please?
Nope, the devil rules the
Gee.
world, Uncle Paul. Just remember
Well,
that.
unfortunately, that's there too. It does say the
Yeah,
whole
that's
world
what
lies
I'm
in the
saying.
hand of the wicked
And
one.
then too, you throw in that little green thing, that little green stuff, and that'll change everybody's mind. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see,
Even a
that's the
smart
love of
man will
money.
go
It's not the
crazy.
money itself. It's the love of
Yeah.
it.
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying. They love it, but once they get it, they still go crazy. You see what I'm saying?
And then they want more,
No
or
matter
they'll
how,
do whatever it
no
takes to
matter
get
how much.
more.
Look at what happened to old boy now. All that money he owes, he's getting sued
Oh,
for.
are you talking about Money Mayweather?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, well, it doesn't matter if you can't read or write. How you expect to be able to hold on to money?
Well, that's another
And this
thing, you
man
know.
didn't see. And here's another thing. I heard a couple of people talk about. Well, he's a product. First of all, his father was a boxer and made good money. He'd been around boxing all his life. He
Mhm.
wasn't some starving kid who had to
Didn't
eat
have nothing,
spaghettios
right?
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This guy, I mean, this man made more money than anything.
Yeah, but
He wanted
the
to
failure
flash.
of it,
Flash
yeah,
doesn't
but the
last. That's why
failure,
it's called a flash.
yeah, but
How
the
much is a
failure
flash
is
of light,
the
Mr.
failure is
Carruthers?
though, Uncle
Come
Carl.
on now.
The failure is the
There
boy
she is.
didn't have enough sense enough to get an education. So when he was to learn to read or write, and when he got older, they couldn't cheat him out of stuff. He wasn't, couldn't read. He couldn't read or write. If he couldn't read or write, he had to mark down with the X. And to me, that's slavery stuff. You see what I'm saying? So he had to write a little bit. Now, as
Mhm.
far as reading, maybe his comprehension skills weren't up there. And then too, he didn't have the time to read. He just signed his name. You see, a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
our entertainers back in the day did that.
I know
They
George
just signed
Clinton is
their
paying
name.
heavy for that right now, and he's got
Yeah.
a lawsuit going, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. George Clinton is owed millions of dollars in royalties,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
millions of funding.
Yeah. Shoot. I don't
Yeah.
know. Hey, baby, she made it.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like the world to me is getting. Mm-mm. We talk about being dark here. Hell, it's dark. It's dark in the world. It's dark in the world. The world is dark. So
It is very dark in the world. But we don't know what's going to happen with this world war either. It seems like that's going longer than expected. But that's another
man, look. War. Then they say war is business. Okay, that's all it's about. It's a business. All these companies making their bread and dough off of the war materials that they're shipping out and making and processing. They're the ones making money. The people that aren't invested in that kind of stuff, they're not making money. The stockholders and all that, they're the
yeah,
real
the
ones
big
making
money.
money. Mhm.
That's where all the money's going, unfortunately. But that's okay.
But like
Well,
I said, God will provide. He has provided for me for 76 years to be here 76 years and to be able to talk now. So what makes me think, why should I give up on things now? I
oh
just
no, we'd be fools to give
there's
up. It's always hardest before the breakthrough. There's always
yeah,
a
and
breakthrough on the other side, and
yeah.
it's going to be
And
one.
then I remember the words of Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. And I was around when he said that. And now people are using those words,
Yeah.
even though they try to ostracize a man just because the way politics have changed today. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's
Hmm.
all it's about. So like I said, I've seen things, the good, the bad, and the ugly of life.
Well, that's the way of the
Uh,
world. So I
yeah.
mean,
If
it's a
I was to go
divide and
out here
conquer.
tonight, if I was to go out here tonight and buy a scratch off ticket and won $100,000, I'm still gonna be the same old man on YouTube, getting on here, talking my crap, playing my music. And hey, as far as I'm concerned, the money goes to my kids. I don't need it. I don't need that kind of money. Just like I think about that. What would you do with 100? If you even won $1,000,000, what would you do? First thing first, my family's taken care of, and then people out there, just give it to a charity. It'll come back to you twofold, believe it or not. It'll come back in some kind of recognition. If you don't want the recognition, do it incognito.
Yep.
But at least your inside, your conscience and your mind will feel better about it. That's what I'm saying.
I would rather do that incognito. I wouldn't want anybody to know what I'm doing anyway. That's to me is the proper way to give. You don't want a big crowd around you. I mean, you do it because you want to do it. You don't do it for the
The
fame. You don't
recognition,
do it
like,
for
yeah, you
because you do it
flashing
because
all
you want
them,
to do it.
yeah,
You do
yeah,
it because you
flash.
truly care. I mean,
Mhm.
if you don't do it for that, then you shouldn't do it in the first place.
Right.
Because God could read the heart. That's the most beautiful thing about him. He knows the
Mhm.
heart. He knows
Yeah,
whether it's really full or it's really treacherous. And if listen, he does love a cheerful giver. He clearly says
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And with that, I guess I gotta. It's time for me to tell
Yeah,
my
listen to
folks, I
you.
guess. I'm an old man. DSD. Nah, not me. Not me. I tell you what, I ever hit that, forget it. But there'll be a lot of people who will be pleasantly surprised. I'm just gonna say that. They will be pleasantly surprised.
Oh boy. Hey, you remember that story that used to come on television years back, called The Millionaire, where he would write a check for $1 million and have his guy go out and give it to people that had certain things going on in their lives. And when they got this $1 million check, how it changed them.
Oh wow,
The
I don't
story was
know.
actually it's called The Millionaire. And every week
Oh,
it would come on and he would write a check for $1 million, have his I want to call him a butler or something, go out and present the money to the people that and they had different things going on in their lives and stuff like that. And there was always a moral to the story, how money will change you for the good or the better. And a
mhm.
lot of times it changed people to the better in that story, but we know for real, in the real world, the money has made some people evil out here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but
there's
it's
been some people who really have done very good things with it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and he might be giving away $1 million each year, but who is he giving it to? That's the point.
mm,
You don't expect somebody to come up and knock on your door and hand you $1 million check, and that's
mm,
what the premise was in this TV series. You see what I'm saying? But
yeah.
when they talk about giving money out, they talking about to charities and donation foundation. Then they let everybody know. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
even
giving
Dolly,
things, because a lot of these charities are bogus. So you
yeah,
got to be careful with that now. It's really sad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
But
sad
like
how
I said,
people.
people do different things for different reasons, and like you said, Uncle Claude, do it incognito and be happy. As long as you're happy in your heart, you watch the joy from other people.
Mhm.
It's all great, but then again, I I just want to live and do me. That's all.
I just want to be comfortable. I want the people around me to be comfortable as well. That's all I really
Yeah,
want.
well,
Everything else take care of itself.
everybody wants that, especially when you know you have a family that you love and care about, and they love and care about you,
Mhm.
even down to the drunk. If Lemon was my brother or my nephew, I'd have a big long talk with him. I'd have a big long talk with him. It's okay for you to be on here, but you got to clean up your act. This is not the time or the way or the place if you want to become something famous, because you're always going to have that stigma behind you from what you did
Yeah.
at the beginning to start off like that.
And that's not
So,
what you want. You don't
and
want that to
that's
follow
not
you
what you want
around.
in life, right? You
You
don't want
don't
that in
want that
life.
to follow you around. You
Mm.
need, you want your name to not ring bells like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Uncle Claude, I'm gonna let you get off of here because I'm expecting to see you over at MU's tonight, probably if
All
she
right.
comes out on the night. But if not, I'll see you out in these YouTube streets. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna call my boo boo after I get off of here.
All right. I'd like to thank the great Legale Wallace. Real Trump said, I'd like to thank HLIC Room Shaker, the great Mr. Carruthers, the Queen Before You Reacts, and my cousin Cheryl, and of course the Queen Bee, Michelle's daughter. And Malik, thank you so much for joining us as well on the platform. And of course, Rodney and Dr. Soapy. Thank you all so much. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Angela White as well. Thank you. And just, if I missed you, trust me, it wasn't to that should have been straightened out, but I'm gonna that's you know why that's the case. I think it can still be straightened out, but that's gonna be between you and her. Uncle Claude signing out. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. Good night, everybody.